guys, so a couple of quick tricks on relaxing your pelvic floor and even so more bulging. So we do not have bulging until later in the pregnancy guide because it's not a normal activity that you want to be doing, but we do want to kind of prep you to like during labor and delivery if you are having labor and delivery, if you know you're not having a C-section. If you're having a C-section, I'd probably skip it altogether. But so the rest periods in the guide, we've gotten questions about those before too. The rest periods are not incorrect, and the biggest reason for that, they're so long, is because most people don't know how to truly relax their pelvic floor. So when I do a contraction, so I'm tucking my tailbone up and in, I let my pelvic floor come all the way back to rest. So you have to feel like that there's no tension in the pelvic floor at all, period. A great way to do that during those rest periods is through diaphragmatic breath, so taking deep breaths in and out while you're trying to really let this go. But if you pay attention to it, so that's why I love the elevator exercises so much. Not only are they functional, but also they're kind of teaching you gradients of your pelvic floor. Because literally, if I'm gonna get punched in the gut, I'm not just gonna like lightly pull on my pelvic floor. I don't know who's punching in the gut when you're pregnant, but so there's gradients of the pelvic floor. If I'm doing really heavy lifts with heavy weights, you know, it's on more than it would be when I am just like lifting like a milk carton around. So anyways, gradients. You want to always come back to neutral. The bulging aspect will definitely not induce labor, nor will break your water, but we're just trying to teach a muscle what it should be doing and what that kind of should feel like. So I love the position. Use the positions in the guide that we have, but the position that I like the most when you're learning how to do bulging is just this position. So you're actually sitting. You can sit on something. Like at home when I was pregnant with both of them, because I thought I was going to do births, I would sit on a yoga block with the yoga block facing upwards, because if you're actually like sitting, you can really relax your pelvic floor, and then trying to bulge. So you know, I can put my hips on here, and what I'm doing is like just pushing. So if this is a contraction, this is coming back to relaxing in your pelvic floor. The bulging is actually kind of pushing downward on your pelvic floor. So if specifically in this question, if you feel like there's tension in your pelvic floor, likely what's happening too is you're not actually relaxing your pelvic floor all the way back down like during daily activities. So diaphragmatic breath would be very helpful for that too. They actually have an app like on the Apple Watch or on your phone that's called Breathe. I didn't even put it on here, but I use this like 4 times a day, and it vibrates and goes in and out. It's very fancy for teaching you like how to breathe, but it's nice because you actually do the breath. Another thing is if you really feel like your pelvic floor is getting like knotted up and there's a lot of tension in it, because that could be happening from the excessive weight from the baby, to you can kind of do some self-treatment things too. So I could take a lacrosse ball or something softer and smaller, but I'm putting that actually in the peritoneum, so I can put one leg straight, I can roll that leg in and out, I can just sit on it, which looks ridiculous, but you're just putting pressure on there to get some of those tension points out. The other thing that I love doing to kind of help stretch out the pelvic floor too is this like frog position. So this is not only great for your pelvic floor but your hips, but coming back all the way forward here and then like all the way back towards your heels. If you think about it, when I'm in that position, I'm really pulling some of this tissue that kind of like gets stuck together. So hopefully those are helpful tips. The other thing is, if you, and I always say this on all of them, so I know, I'm sorry if you're sick of it, but if you have proper strength through your low back, your hips, that puts so much less pressure on your pelvic floor. So the strengthening is a good thing to do, and so if you're not doing all the exercises in the guide, make sure that that stays on the top of your priority list.